this episode of Playlog, we're talking about the whole situation with Steam, MasterCard, and the removal of all these NSFW games. Hey guys, CGDannyB back in with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming, but of course, can't talk indie games alone because that's super boring. So, I've got my partner in crime, the Playlist Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
I am doing good, but how is my favorite Thunderful Insider?
The shirt's in the laundry basket, so I can't really show it off, but I have a mouse pad.
That's a cool looking mouse pad.
It is pretty dope. I won't lie right now, it's a mess because it's a mouse pad on a mouse pad. So the amount of times I'm playing games and I pull it too far back and I'm like right in between two different, I hope they didn't fuck up the video. I did the thing where my windows hit everything, so I think it's fine. It's fine. But like, I'll do that. I'm like, I'm not moving around. I'm like, oh, I'm off the mouse pad. I gotta fix it. So I want to use it. I just got to decide if I'm going to move one mouse to the other. Either way, regardless. Yeah. So funny story with that. We talked a little bit before, but so I got invited to join the Thunderful Insider program, which all things considered is just, I'm on a Discord where they're like, hey, a game being published by Thunderful is coming out. If you want keys, you can have them. That's pretty much the basis of it. But they started with like, hey, we want to make sure all the Thunderful Insiders have like something to be like, hey, I'm me, I'm here, I'm doing the thing. So a while back, they asked you to fill out a form. We're going to send you a package, what's your shirt size, etc. I did order the shirt before I lost more weight, so it's a little baggy, but not like big baggy. I usually like my clothes bigger anyway, just so they're not like skin tight, not my thing. But I fill out the form. They finally send the stuff out, and then I get this like weird FedEx email. I'm like, this looks like a scam. I'm not going to touch it. And then somebody from Thunderful was like, hey, you should have gotten this email. Could you like fill this out? It's we sent you a pen as well, and that's being stopped at customs. So they won't mail it unless you get it confirmed, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, got it. I'll fill that out. So I fill it out. I shoot an email. It's like, hey, here's the form that you needed. As I do that, they send me another email. It's like, hey, we should have sent you this form. Could you fill it out? I was like, oh, I just did. I literally just sent it. They're like, oh, cool. Could you copy the document of the FC Elemental P something form into the thing? And I'm like, homie, I don't know what you're asking of me. I don't work at FedEx. I don't know what that means. What you need to tell me what you want me to do. And then they didn't respond. So I was like, well, what the damn? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get my package if they don't tell me what to do? I have no idea. And then I shot an email. I was like, hey, so they asked me for this, but they didn't answer me. What do you need me to do? And they're like, oh, you're good. Don't worry about it. I'm like, cool. Great. Whatever. So I wait a couple days. My package shows up. I don't know. Man, do I have it? Yeah. So this is the package it showed up in. Sorry, I put trash in the trash. But like, it showed up kind of like this. Like there was a clear coat inside. But like, I was like, no, they must have taken my pen. They didn't. I still had the pen. But like, whoever over at customs was like, we got to see what's in that pen. Just like ripped up my fucking mail. Everything was fine. Jesus. The only real thing was the sticker they sent was a little bit bent, which it's a sticker. It's fine. But yeah, that was the adventure of me getting my Thunderful package. But I have a t-shirt that says Thunderful Insider. I got a pen that is it in here? Yeah. Get my fucking pen. Yeah, I got a pen that says, come on camera, show it. Thunderful Insider. Nice. I'm kind of a big fucking deal. And then the mouse pad and a sticker. So it's a good time. It's a good time. It's nice to be Thunderful. Cool. But yeah, thanks for mentioning it. Thunderful.
It's exciting that you get this opportunity.
Yeah, they're really dope.
They have released some cool games.
Yeah, I mean, so far the big ones we've done since we did the whole program is Lost in Random, Eternal Die, which was really fun. Connor and I talked about that. God, it could have been 10 episodes back now. Time's a weird thing. We'll talk about a game for next week's episode that I'll get to talk about. And then I think now we're pushing that Viewfinder is coming out on Xbox in August here. So we're like, oh, cool. I'm like, I don't really have the Xbox to play it on, so I'm not like super pushing it. But at least reminding people, if you haven't played Viewfinder, pretty dope puzzle game. I would say,
it is.
If you have no history with it at all, do not touch any demos. Just go into it blind. I think the one thing that ruined that game for me was the awe of like, oh, this is how it works, was taken away from me because I played the demo. So when I played the full game, it didn't really feel all that special. I was like, okay, I know the gimmick. Yeah. So I was like, don't touch the game. If you've not touched Viewfinder, don't bother. Just play the full game. It's great. Just go in for the shock and awe when you get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week's episode is going to be a little bit, not intense, but we're going to be talking on some heavy stuff. So we'll get to that in a moment. But first, a little bit of housekeeping before we get rolling. This is Playlog Podcast, our weekly podcast where we talk about indie games, news, reviews, and whatever we choose. If you enjoy what we do here, please be sure to show us some support by doing a few very simple things, such as liking the video if you're on YouTube or leaving a glorious 5-star review if you're on audio platforms. It's simple, but it goes a long way for helping the show. You can also be a part of the show by writing in and asking us your questions or recommending your favorite indie games for our bi-monthly book club. Just use the Google form in the description of every single episode and have your opinions heard right here. Now, on to a bit of housekeeping, really quick. Quick reminder, if you like watching me play some make-believe with a bunch of hot D&D friends, then boy, do I have the show for you. Every Thursday night, I'm taking part in Tales of the Valiant, an ongoing series on the Crit Hit Chronicles Twitch channel where I'm playing Viking, a beastkin barbarian who's all about getting the job done. And if you're getting in his way, he's going to get a little ornery about it. If you want to catch the live actual play on Thursday nights, it's on twitch.tv/CritHitChronicles at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central. It's a good time. We should be playing this week. If I find out we're not, check out the channel and be like, where'd they go? We died. That's it. Sometimes, listen, life comes and the D&D guys are like, hey, we got to do what we got to do. So we're just not playing. I just sometimes don't know when it's announced. We just kind of don't do it. So, hey. We have a note in here for the August releases video. It's coming up. It should hopefully, ideally be out by the time you're seeing this episode. It should have been out maybe yesterday or tomorrow. I don't really know, but it's coming somewhere in these couple days. There's your plug for that. And for our last quick reminder, as part of our podcast, we'll be doing our bi-monthly book club. We go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. And for the months of August and September, we're playing Until Then. Oh, the first time I get to read the description. A fateful meeting sets off a chain reaction. Upending Mark's life. People disappear and memories prove unreliable. Uncover hidden truth with Mark and his friends in this narrative adventure and race to unravel the mystery before it's too late. Play the game during these couple months on Steam, PlayStation, or Switch. Yeah, sorry, it's weak. I tried to go on the improv, but we're good. Play the game these couple months on Steam, PlayStation, or Switch. Then over to our write-in form in the description and give us your thoughts on Until Then for our September 22nd episode of the Playlog Podcast. You can join us live on twitch.tv/CGDannyB for the discussion, or catch the upload on Thursday the 24th on youtube.com/@CGDannyB or audio platform services. Timestamp. Boom, baby. We're golden.
Nice. Well done.
Drinking some agua. Yo, listen, total distraction again. My dad got us these flashlights for putting in our cars. This is one of those big.
Damn.
Look at that bitch back there. Sorry, audio listeners, you get to see, but like this is and then you kind of like you zoom, you shrink it to get some precision, right? And then, all right, video watchers, I got to show the different modes quick. My ADHD's kicking in. Now, epilepsy warning. Be careful. I can't fucking show the light anywhere. So it's got bright, dim, dimmer, strobe for some reason. I guess we need that. And then
need to attack someone with epilepsy.
Like, honestly, help! Someone's coming after me. I have to see if they're epileptic. Like that's fucking nuts. But yeah. So I need to put this in my car immediately. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and just putz around in my desk like this with it. I'm just gonna want to play with it the entire time. I need to go. I had to put that away during between episodes. I was gonna want to play with it. Oh boy. But real quick before we get into the topic of the show, real quick indie news, really small thing. I should open this article beforehand. Not really an article, it's just a tweet. But Nintendo has announced there'll be an Indie World event on August 7th, one of the busiest days this month. So let's just do a real quick Indie World event. The Indie World event's on August 7th at 6 a.m. Pacific. So for us, that'll be 9 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be about 15 minutes of new announcements and updates on indie games coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch. Something else kind of important is that War64 tweeted out that the Indie World Japan Twitter has said that it's 20 minutes long. So it's an extra 5 minutes. So I don't know if this is going to be one of those like Japan exclusive RPG indie games that we won't get for a while. And that adds an extra like 5 minutes to the runtime or what the case is. But the Japan one might be a little bit longer because of reasons. So yeah.
They're getting more games.
I got to stop doing that, man. Japan, let us have the games too. I want to play it. I'm very excited. The plan is to do a reaction. I don't know that I'll be up at 9 a.m. to do a reaction, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I'll probably do that once I'm up, do a quick Twitch stream, and I include that on my Thursday schedule. How great. How great. You excited for Indie World? You got any expectations for this showcase?
I'm excited because, there's lots of people who are getting hyped that maybe we'll be getting a Silk Song announcement or whatever. But these Indie Worlds usually focus on smaller games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like that. So I'm curious to see if we're getting release dates for games that we already have wishlisted, or if it's gonna be brand new games announced.
Right. Yeah, I'm always into Indie World because they are such a shock and awe kind of event, which is why when we see the no Silk Song, terrible showcase, blah, 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 because that just ruins the vibe of everybody else's moment. But the Indie Worlds tend to cool, here's a game we knew was coming, here's a release date, or didn't know it was coming to Switch or didn't know it existed. It's like a brand new reveal. I love those moments. Those are always great because I'm like, oh, cool, more to add to my wish list, mostly on Steam because I really don't play my Switch all that much. I didn't buy a Switch 2. Will I? Oh, who knows? I got a Steam Deck, But yeah, I am excited for Indie World all the time, and especially when there's such a last minute announcement of see you in a couple days. Yeah, right around the corner, baby. Can't wait.
Now give us Moonlighter 2, damn it.
Listen. Here's the problem, Tofr. Here's the problem. Last week we changed our stream plans. I was gonna do Date Everything. Just be everyone likes this game, let's play some Date Everything, right? An hour before, Jill Grote of Indie Informer goes, anybody want to play the new co-op horror kaiju cooking? I think I said that name wrong. For stream tonight? I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I can do that. So I'm like, sorry, Chad, we're not doing Date Everything. We're playing kaiju with Jill and Emily. So we moved that. I'm like, cool, we'll just do Date Everything on Monday. And initially we had discussed doing this peak race of we're going to all compete in peak, whatever. And no one answered me. So we just won't do it. I'll just play Date Everything on Monday. So then Connor goes, are we doing this? I'm like, I was down, but no one answered. I'm still down. I'm like, okay, sorry guys, we're not doing Date Everything. We're going to do it on Thursday. So chat's like, are we actually going to play it on Thursday? I'm like, chat, hear me out. Here's what's going to happen. The only thing that's going to stop us from playing Date Everything is if Moonlighter 2 comes out on Thursday. If Moonlighter 2 comes out on Thursday, we are dropping everything to play Moonlighter. I'm sorry, Date Everything, you just will not get played for a while. And now they're like, okay, cool. And you're saying that if they shadow drop Moonlighter in the showcase. I just posted a TikTok too. That's I hate this world. I hate this prison. That's the we don't have a date for Moonlighter. If it happens, that's going to be another great TikTok. We'd be like, guys, we're just going to do this. Don't worry about it. We're going to play the game unless Moonlighter comes out. And then it's 3 days later. And the fucking Moonlighter comes out. I'm like, all right. Okay. Sorry, team. I clipped it. We said what was going to happen. But
the thing is, it's just they said it was going to release this summer, and we still don't have a set release date. So either we get a release date or it shadow drops, and it feels like shadow dropping seems like the better option now.
I think so. Yeah, I would have to.
But I don't know if is it coming to Switch.
I think Moonlighter 2. I don't want Steam. I want the Digital Sun website now. There it is. Right now I'm just seeing Steam, but I know it's announced for PlayStation. So let me see. Digital Sun.
I found an article here if it wants to open.
Yeah, I'm trying to load
the fuck up.
the Digital Sun website. No,
okay, so it will be coming to Switch too, it seems,
okay.
But
cool.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be
on launch.
It's not gonna be on launch, but it is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Yeah. Can we take a moment and talk about Digital Sun and their fucking catalog of bangers, dude? Because we got Moonlighter, we have Between Dimensions, which was a DLC. We have Mage Seeker, rest in peace, Riot Forge. Cataclysma, which I won't lie, I still haven't played. I'm sorry. I know, I went to pick it up and they came up with 10 other things. I didn't get around to it. And then early access, I'm like, I'll wait for the one. And then they're like, let's release Moonlighter before this is out of early access. I'm like, shit, what are we doing? And then Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault, which, listen, man, Toph, I really wanted Thursday, but you know how bad the chat will hate me. Not hate me because it's Moonlighter, but if we push back Date Everything again because Moonlighter actually came out when I made a joke about it coming out, I'll be so upset. I'll be so upset with myself, but so happy with myself at the same time.
Yeah, I think the happiness will overshadow the sadness.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. People are like, I thought it was Date Everything. I'm like, fuck you. Moonlighter's here, baby. But yeah, yeah, so Indie World on Thursday. Really looking forward to seeing what they got going on over there. And there'll be a reaction on the YouTube channel whenever that happens. So look forward to it. Timestamp now, Tofr. We're into the big headline here today. What we pushed away from last week to make sure we had enough time to kind of cover and look into all the details of this situation. Before we get going, I think it's important. We haven't had to do a trigger warning on the podcast before, but this topic does discuss NSFW type content, sexual assault, all kinds of different things within video games. So if that's something you're not comfortable with, might not be the episode for you. There will be timestamps if you just want to hear us talk about what games we've been playing, as well as the indies releasing this week. So by all means, please use those. But if this is a topic that is not suitable for you, by all means, please don't stick around and listen to it. Be comfortable listening to our podcast. I want it to be a safe place. Just here's your warning up front. And if you happen to skip the timestamps and went right past that, damn, I didn't really know what to do about that. That's not very control. But yeah, so last week we mentioned we were going to take some time to really look into this and cover it a little more thoroughly. But recently there was a big takedown on Steam and itch.io of a bunch of NSFW games. You compiled all this. Do you want to go through it? The list all the details we have here?
I could go through it, sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So on July 28th, both Steam and itch.io, which are two of the biggest PC gaming platforms, delisted a whole ton of NSFW games after controversy surrounding the game No Mercy, which depicts violence against women and children. It's a game in which the gist of it is that the player character, wants to take revenge on a female character by sexually assaulting other female characters,
right?
Even underage ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something pretty bad. I think we can all agree on that.
Absolutely, terrible.
Yeah, the thing is, the entire boycott of this game was started by an Australian anti-porn group called Collective Shout. Mm-hmm. They first reached out to Steam and itch to ask for the game to be taken down and were rejected.
Yeah.
And then they started a campaign where they pressured companies like Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal to put pressure on Steam and itch to remove that game and games similar to that. Now, Collective Shout is an organization that fights against sexualization of women and children in all kinds of media. And while this is definitely a worthwhile endeavor, it does need mentioning that their brand of feminism is also pro-life, so against abortions, which doesn't sit right with me, and also holds questionable views on the LGBTQIA+ community.
Yeah.
Their views on what is sexualization can be iffy too. For example, previously they targeted the game Detroit Become Human for the violence against a woman and a child. Even though that game was in no way glorifying said violence, it was instead shedding a light on the violence that is so often real and unseen. So it was weird that they started targeting that game when that game was trying to amplify the message that they stand for.
Yeah.
Like that this kind of violence is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of affected devs have spoken out on this kind of ban, doing exactly nothing to protect women and children, which is something that I agree with. It all comes down to like that discussion of, do video games influence people to do bad things, that we've had in all of the previous decades ever since video games became a thing.
Yep.
But yeah, since the ban was put into place, a lot has happened. Petitions have been set up to counter the bans, with people even applying the same tactics that Collective Shout used to pressure the involved companies into backing out of this conflict. GOG they made like a bundle of 13 not safe for work games that they gave away for free in protest of the bans, because they were advocating for the freedom to buy games in whatever way.
Yeah.
itch.io has apparently already started reversing their decision slowly.
Yeah.
And MasterCard has denied being involved, although a spokesperson for Valve has claimed that that's just not true.
Yeah.
The thing is, MasterCard's involvement wasn't direct. Apparently, MasterCard used payment processors, and those processors then contacted Steam. So it was MasterCard applying the pressure, but they just didn't do it directly. And Valve even mentioned trying to get into contact with them directly, and MasterCard refusing to communicate with them. Yeah. So it's all so iffy. Now, I get it. Like, to be fair, it is a delicate matter. We were a bit unsure about tackling a subject like this because this is a podcast where we usually focus on the positive of indie games and gaming in general, which is why we did our research before discussing it. We'll be putting a ton of links about everything that's happened in the past week down in the description.
Yep. And if I happen to forget, yell at me in the comments because I sometimes forget the links. I have a template for my description, and if I don't put a note to change something, so if you're like, Danny, you put the articles, yell at me and I'll put them in right away as soon as I see it.
Yeah. But the big question is, what does this mean? The fact that Collective Shout managed to get this done. Are non-sexual LGBTQIA plus games going to be targeted as well? What about a game like Wednesdays, which is a game that came out earlier this year, that shines a light on the abuse that children suffer, children suffer? And how far can censorship on video games go? I'm all for banning games that glorify rape, but where would the line be drawn? Like, who gets to decide where the line is drawn? Because right now, it seems like it's companies like MasterCard and Visa that get to decide where the line is drawn. And that's such a delicate thing.
Yeah.
What do you have any general thoughts on everything I mentioned?
Yeah, I could start at the top. I think No Mercy is the trigger for this whole event and all of this news happening. And I think it's important to kind of cover that first. I am a huge fan of media, movies, games, or someone who recently started reading for leisure. Like, I enjoy what media can tackle. I think it's very representative of things that we experience in life, things that we all go through. And though sometimes it is triggering and too intense, and I think there's warnings for that on specific media, I think it's important to like be able to express the feelings of those things, as intense or as simple as they may be, in those forms of media. That being said, I think there is this gray area, this weird blurred line of like what defines what is too intense. I think a lot of media will imply what has happened. You know, if there is sexual assault, they won't show it, but like you can see the person's reaction to it, or you know, through dialogue, you know what happens, but you don't see an event. I have not played No Mercy. I've watched like a 20-minute gameplay clip of just the dialogue, and it doesn't show any of the sexual assault stuff. I don't personally have any context of it. How bad it is and how detailed or graphic it is. I don't think, though a game I think can explore those topics. I think we probably both have played indie games that have done so. I know we both played at least one indie game that tackles that stuff, but it's handled so tastefully, even though it's intense. I mean, spoilers, mouthwashing, right? Like we've both talked about mouthwashing and some of the important things that happen in there. And it is handled in a way of like, it is implied and is delivered to the audience of like, here's what happened, but it's not, you're not prompted to do it. You are not given the direction of take part in this activity. The fact that this is the game that puts you in the shoes of someone who's like, I'm going to sexually assault women and children just because it gets revenge on another person in my life. I think that is a sickening topic for a game. I think it's a disgusting direction to make for someone to be able to play. And I say this in a semi-aggressive way, again, as someone who hasn't played the game, and I don't intend to. I am saying this all from hearsay of what I've heard about the game, right? And what controversy it stirred up. I did go to the Steam page and find a note that they had put out in April talking about people making disingenuous statements about the game and you know what it does, and da-da-da-da. I think something that they mentioned in theirs, which I don't fully agree with, but I understand, is they use like, I'm trying not to use the R word as much as possible. I know people don't like that word, so I try not to. But for sexual assault, they mention like people do this in the bedroom. It's a role playing thing, right? If you do this in the bedroom because your partner likes it, it's the role play you guys choose to do. If they use the example of like the teacher and student and like, oh, what am I going to do to get a good grade? Like they use the examples. I'm like, I understand that logic of, do you call this person a sicko and disgusting and check their hard drives and da-da-da-da-da? I'm like, no, not necessarily. But I think something that's done between two consenting adults to role play a non-consensual situation versus a video game that puts you in the shoes of someone who actively works towards non-consensual sex are two very different conversations to be had. So I think No Mercy, as someone again who has not played it, can only speak so much of what I've seen, heard, and read. I think it sounds like something that should not be available on any kind of purchasable platform. I can't tell a developer what to make and what not to make, etc. But I think it's a fucked up game. I don't think that's something that people should be able to just go and buy. That's just how I feel about it. All of that to say, I think censorship in video games is fucked up. I think, just like I said with media, I think we should be able to express all these things, the dark things, the important things that people go through in life, whether they're good, bad, they evolve you as people. And I think not being able to depict those things in games, though I think it should be done tastefully, is also bullshit. I don't think, especially for a payment processing company, something like a MasterCard or Visa, to be like, no, you can't sell something like this. I think that's way off course. I don't know what leg they get to stand on to say, no, sorry, we won't take dirty money. Like what's the stance? What is it? We won't let someone use the card we gave them to buy dirty things. Like that's fucking wild. I think that's insane. Yeah. So however this falls apart where MasterCard's like, sorry, that wasn't us. And seems like it was you, but okay. Like
MasterCard now claims that they don't allow people to buy illegal things with their payment methods. But the thing is that's where the discussion starts. Like, I get why a game like No Mercy gets removed, even if I might not completely agree with it. But how come so many other games were removed immediately as well?
Right.
There has to be more there, and I couldn't find anything about that when I was researching this. There was nowhere no one that claimed that like we made a list of games that should be removed. No, just all of a sudden Steam and itch decided to remove hundreds of games. Yeah.
And when this happened, right, this was last week, we didn't have all the news yet. I was under the impression what the goal was is, wow, we found out an NSFW game that's on our platform is really, really bad. Like, how many other games have we not reviewed, have we not vetted that got through and did this? I assume the NSFW shutdown was to be like, let's take everything off. Let's have an opportunity to review and go through what these games offer to players and whether that's appropriate for our platform. That's what my assumption was. It sounds like that's not the case. Like, I understand itch is a smaller organization. They do not have the power that Steam does. And yeah, they kind of had to bend the knee of like, the only way people can buy stuff on our platform is to use these credit card platforms, right? To use MasterCard, to use Visa. And if we don't listen to what they have to say, and then there's no way for people to pay us, then our platform dies. And there's nothing we can do. And that fucks it up not only for people owning the company, right? But the people trying to get the game onto a platform that has a chance to be spotlighted on like something like Steam that is 2 million fodder shovelware games every single day. I'm not saying those aren't on itch, but you get the point. I think that's damaging. So I assumed itch was like, let's vet what we have, let's see what we can do, and then moving forward, if it comes with an NSFW tag, it has to be reviewed in a certain way. That's the perfect way I see it. And I say perfect, not like you have to not put manpower into playing games through and deeply analyzing, or trust that the developers are forthright, like, hey, this does include sexual assault and it's depicted in this way. And how many dirty devs are going to be like, yeah, we put out our game. Don't tell them about the back room that lets them do things. Okay, don't tell them about, like what that looks like. So Steam, on the other hand, I think who totally could have had some kind of fight back of like, hey, MasterCard, Visa, this is kind of stupid. You don't really get a say in this, but like, okay. Like, I don't know. I'm not business savvy enough to say who can fight what and what legal courses would have come out of it. But I think in a world where we could somehow vet everything, or have trustworthy enough forms or whatnot to allow people to post their game that has NSFW content. Because listen, I'm all about NSFW, dog. Put your porn games on Steam. Let it happen. I have plenty of friends, plenty of female friends who love their smutty visual novels. I in no way want to be the one that's just like, oh no, you guys can't play your smutty visual novels anymore. Bye. They'd hate me, and I didn't even do it. I just somehow would be the indie game guy. Fuck you. I'm like, it wasn't me. I'm sorry. But I totally want them to continue to have those forms of media. Those are things they enjoy, things they have fun playing, things they have fun like engaging in stories with. But yeah, something like No Mercy is just a seems like a gross experience that people shouldn't have access to. I don't want to say people should have access to. People are grown adults, but also the legality of the activities in the game. Even though I'm not doing the thing, I'm playing a game where I'm doing the thing. But then you go down the rabbit hole of like, well, GTA is illegal, and you know, then it turned into, are these being taken off our platform? So, and you can see just now as me rambling, this is a slippery slope of what does this mean? What does this entail? And I think discussing NSFW as this big cloud of what does that entail? Like, what is not safe for work, and having to find that into violence and sex and you know, whatever categories fall into that. And they all have to be taken care of in different ways. So is a lot of extra work. Yeah. But if it's a problem like this now, it's going to be a problem later. And I think it needs to be a problem that's taken care of ahead of time before it gets bigger later.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It does make me wonder. You mentioned games like GTA. Collective Shout did campaign against the release of GTA 5 in Australia as well. Yeah. But that's the other interesting point here, because why only ban games with sexual content when there's so much gore and violence in so many horror games and so many action games?
Right.
Like any organization that's like, we can't have violence in video games because that gets children to do unbelievable stuff to other people. They could start the same kind of campaign.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, there's this snowball effect. We keep getting campaign after campaign after campaign, and all of a sudden we won't have anything to buy anymore.
Yeah. It's so tough, right? Like, I don't know what the rule is. I'm some 30-year-old sitting at a computer talking about video games to however many people are going to see this episode, right? Like, I don't have the manpower, the business sense, any of that to decide how this needs to be fixed or how it needs to be handled moving forward. I just know I would feel uncomfortable if No Mercy existed in my Steam library. The moment, like,
absolutely,
I see this as someone who doesn't plan to have children, like them sitting in my computer and being like, oh, hey, like, what's in my dad's Steam library? And what's this No Mercy game? And checking that out and being like, fuck, like, I wouldn't want a child of mine or any child to go into somebody's library and find this and be like, I want to check out this game. There's a hot lady on the cover. It should be fun. And then, you know, turn to something that's all about sexual assault for the pleasure of getting revenge. Like that's insane. And like, I think about, I guarantee there's a movie about it, and I couldn't tell you what it is, just not my genre to explore. But like, there's got to be a movie, right, where the antagonist is exactly that, right? I'm sure someone has already thought of a movie like, yes, Danny, it's this movie. I don't have the answer for that. And then I'm like, well, now how do I differentiate a movie that explores that versus the game that explores it? And like, it comes back to the weird argument of like, I'm put in the shoes and I get to play it. But then again, it's like, well, Danny, you say that here, but then you talk about the violence of GTA and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I know one feels, though it's shitty to just blow people up with a rocket launcher and run over people in the streets of San Andreas or whatever. And then a game that's just like, let's have sexual assault, whatever. Like it's a weird place. I don't know how to differentiate why one should be maintained different than the other. That's a gut feeling. And I know that doesn't hold up in a court of law of what should and shouldn't feel bad, but I don't know. One's a lot shittier than the other.
I'm not saying that games with violence should disappear.
Absolutely not, 100%.
They're fiction. And the people who claim that like violent games make people violent, they're wrong. Yeah, I feel like every gamer has done the paper in high school or college of like, why video games don't make you violent, and studies show that blah blah blah. Oxford did a study on Grand Theft Auto 3 back in blah blah blah. Like, yeah, like 100%. Yeah, I completely lost my point now.
Because you should think about violence is fictional.
The violence is fictional, and if the important thing is like educating younger people on the difference between fiction and reality.
Yeah.
Because fiction is always going to be a part of it. If they're not going to find it in video games, they'll find it in books. They'll find it in graphic novels. They'll find it in movies. I mean, there's rule 34 or 43. Which one is it?
34.
34.
Don't put me on the spot like that. Don't be like, Danny, which is it? Huh? What's the porn
I couldn't
rule?
remember. I'm sorry. And people will find the things that they're looking for. It's just important to make sure that they know the difference. And just censoring games wildly isn't going to protect people from getting hurt.
Right. And this is me doing that, not devil's advocate, because I don't want to be like, let me support the other but like we say it's fictional, right? We're like, oh, the violence in Grand Theft Auto is fictional. The sexual assault No Mercy is fictional, right? Like no one actually is being affected. If we go by the same logic of like, oh, just because I played a video game doesn't make me do it in real life. Like, this is where I think the argument starts to fall apart. And I'm not the debate club kid who has the logic of like, this is what differentiates the two, to say like one bad, one not bad. And that's why this was such a like, how do we go in like last week of like, how do you discuss this and have a stance that like doesn't make you look like an asshole in one way or the other, or like has solid footing. But yeah, like if the argument is one, like they're both fiction, but one's not okay fiction, one is okay fiction, like how do we win that? How do we not win, but
it's a struggle. And the thing is, even if you censor it, people will find ways around things. If you just think about adult entertainment,
right? It's
all step family related nowadays.
Yeah, sure is.
And I mean, like that's just one way to circumvent like the thing that people want to see, but aren't allowed to see. People will find ways. There's nothing more creative than a human trying to circumvent rules.
That's a good statement. That's a good one. Man.
It's a tough one. And like my worry about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Again, I get why a game like No Mercy shouldn't exist. But making a group like Collective Shout, like the beacon of morality, seems dangerous to me. Especially when it's this organization that's against abortions and stuff like that. That's a certain kind of feminism. It's not representative of most people. And when they become the spokesperson for like an entire people, that's dangerous.
Yeah, 100%. Like we saw this article last week about Collective Shout and what they do. Like, I didn't know anything else about it. And you brought up the pro-life stuff, questionable views on LGBTQ. And I'm like, that's a weird, like, I don't know if I love all that. Like, it's giving PETA anytime they have something to say about Pokemon.
Yeah.
And they make their own Flash game of like Pokemon Black and Blue. And I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Fuck off. It's stupid. Like, it is that. And if I see like they release their own Flash game about like, oh no, stop these people from aborting children. It just gives that same like weird cringy vibe. And I don't love that mentality. Learning that about them, I'm like, I was really behind what the cause was, but I don't know that I'm behind the whole cause here. It just seems like we're picking at what do we want, right? Which is exactly what I did, talking about, what games should, be available on Steam and whatnot. But like, as an organization, as somebody with the power to do something about that, not just an opinion on what's comfortable and what's not comfortable. This is you're right. I don't think it should be the glowing stance company to follow through on this.
Now, I have to be honest, Steam could do better when it comes to adult games.
Sure.
Because sometimes I'll be looking up a game on Steam and I'll get this warning that you have to be over 18 to watch the Steam page. And it's like Mass Effect, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case, but it's something similar to that.
Sure.
But then games like Can I Have Adolf Hitler's Children doesn't have that warning. I don't know if that's an actual game, but
okay. I was like, shut up. Okay.
I've seen things that are in that direction.
Sure.
But then you don't get that warning. That's just available to see for all.
Yeah.
So Steam, maybe this could be a wake-up call for them to like do better when it comes to that.
Yeah. I hope it is, right? Like, this is one of those milestone moments that right now you don't realize you're in history, and it could totally just blow over in a couple weeks. And it's one of those things we just kind of don't pay attention to until the next time it happens. We're like, well, remember the time MasterCard got involved? I'm like, what do we do now? Nothing. We move on and forget in a month, right? Like, but where in the history books do we talk about NSFW content being taken down from Steam platforms? And this is where we finally came up with the new ESRB of NSFW content, right? Like, what organization, hopefully not Collective Shout, sits down and decides what is content that can be released, right? Like, we don't really get A-rated games these days. I mean, we do, like, literally right here. But, like, those are not often public for people to access. You can't go to GameStop and buy No Mercy on PlayStation, right? Like, that's not going to happen. And I wonder, there's definitely a place for A-rated games. There totally is. But again, it just falls back to what specifically about them being A-rated is what keeps them there. And then I feel like you almost just need something above that for, like, some dark web website of, like, this is the only way to play No Mercy is to find it on hornygames.com, but you have to go through the whatever VPN, you know, like I don't know. It's so above me. It's something I hope we, as I say we, the royal we, as the games industry, can find a comfortable place to get around of, no, don't do this for games. But also, I don't like censorship. I like the games to have what they have. I just don't like uncomfortable shit. So
absolutely. I think the important thing, way more than censoring games, is to, like, educate our young people on what sexual behavior is like.
Absolutely.
And what behavior is healthy. Because when I do see, like, adult games across my Steam front page, a lot of them I'm like, this is not a healthy view on anything sexual at all. Yeah. And it's the same with adult videos. Like, so many of them are like, oh, iffy at best.
Right.
And it's important to educate our younger people, and maybe even the adults among us. That's gonna have a way bigger impact than censoring games ever could have, because censoring usually leads to people finding other ways to get what they want. Yeah. So you're gonna drive up the number of people looking for this kind of thing. I mean, how many of us had heard about No Mercy before this whole thing started?
Not me. I sure hadn't.
Yeah.
Man, I'm in the spot right now where I'm going through. I'm like, what all did I say this episode? Did I say one thing that was like that? Well, Danny, you contradicted yourself, and I guarantee I did.
I probably did as well.
Yeah,
and that's fine. It's a complicated matter.
It really is. I was like, fine. Why do we cover this? Why do we talk about this? But, like, no, I think even if we're not sitting here, right, to decide, here's how we fix the future of the stuff. I think as people who talk about indie games, what's going on in the space, covering probably the biggest indie platform, as well as, well, I'm using itch as the biggest indie platform, as well as Steam, right? Like, this is stuff that affects the games we play and where we can purchase them, right? And I think at least having the knowledge of what's going on with a little bit of insight of, like, oh, here's how we feel about the whole thing is still nice to have. I don't know. I think the biggest thing I keep falling back to is deciding censorship, right? Because I'm against censorship. I think those things should be accessible to people. Just how we maintain that, not censor, but I don't want to say control either. This is really bad. I don't know where to find the words, you know? Like, but I don't know. I think it's a tough thing. I think there is someone much better at this than I that can cover this and not decide, but maybe come up with an idea for how best to regulate this. And I hope we find one that makes everybody happy so they can all tell their stories in the way that, though it is gruesome content, still comes across in a tasteful way that if I don't want to play it, great, it's not my problem. But it hopefully won't affect a credit card company saying that I can't use my MasterCard on itch.
Yeah. It's such a delicate matter. And I'm glad, like, I know we are not the people who are going to find the right solution for all of this.
Yeah.
But I'm still glad we can have this discussion.
Yeah.
And talk about it. And even if we contradict ourselves at times, we can sit here and think about it and think about how we want the world to be.
Yeah. Please.
Instead of calling up MasterCard and telling them to do stuff.
I am interested because I didn't know about the GOG thing until today. The bundle.
I think I am
interested.
Gone now.
The giveaways ended. Okay, cool. I did want to see what was included. Okay, so interesting, right? And I won't show the bundle just because there's just whole ass on here. But like the bundle included Postal 2, Agony, plus Agony Unrated. A lot of these I don't know. Leap of Love, Being a Dick, DIK, Season 1. Leap of Faith, House Party, which anyone who watches Game Grumps, we all know House Party. Honey Pop, Lust Theory, Sapphire Safari. Oh, is that a furry game? Oh, yeah, I see now. Fetish Locator Week 1, Summer Gone Season 1, Treasure of Nadia, and Helping the Hotties. I know little about 2 of these games, and because I got to watch a Let's Play, I know stuff about House Party, right? Which even House Party is horny, there's nudity and stuff, but there's not illegal activity. Oh, there's probably drugs and stuff. I don't know. You get the point. There's no illegal sexual activity in there. So this is a weird case. I'm glad GOG put this bundle together. I'm glad it exists. Also, I think Agony was a pretty bad game, but I guess it falls under NSFW. Throw it in the bundle, you know. But
yeah.
Shit. Anything else? What else do you think? What else was in this in our notes here? Anything else important? It's like reversing the situation. I'm not sure what all that entails quite yet. How much is going back up? I know initially. Go ahead.
They started with putting the free games back up.
Okay.
And they were looking into slowly adding more of the games after some internal research into the matter. Yeah.
They're doing exactly what I wanted. Cool. Yeah, then great. Run it. And if we come back with a sorry you can't do it on our platform. The idea that sits in the back of my head, which doesn't sound like a solution, but like a Band-Aid over a problem, is to have somebody, and this just sounds like the most like right-wing bullshit, like I'm going to make my own Twitter, you know? But somebody makes their own storefront that is specifically for those absurd NSFW, right? And that might already exist. I'm sure there's a website where people sell their porn games that contain this content, right? But that sounds like one of those is going to step up and be weird comparison, but not Unreal. Unity, like, oh, we fucked up the people using our platform. Everyone's moving to Godot, right? Like, oh, Steam fucked us up. We can't sell our porn games. Everyone's moving over to hornygames.com, right? Or whatever I said earlier. Like, that might be the solution. That doesn't delete the games from existing, but I guess it puts in a very specific place of like, you know what you're getting here. Like, this is on a platform that is specifically for this, which, again, sounds dark web illegal. That doesn't fix the problem. But again, it sounds like a Band-Aid over a big problem, but I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, Steam won't let that happen, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think they make way too much money from those type of games. I used to work in a video rental store, like the Belgian version of Blockbuster.
Sure.
And our shops would not... Our shops would never have survived if it weren't for the people renting adult videos.
Sure.
They were such a massive part of our audience. Even though like all of those videos were hidden in the back with a little curtain in front of it.
Yep.
But yeah, there's people want this kind of content. So I really don't think Steam would be like, oh, let's say goodbye to all of this money.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's right. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. That's I hate to end on like, I don't have the answer, guys. Just here's the news. But like that's kind of what this whole thing was for. Just to make sure we were at least covering the important bits of it and where we stand on the whole thing. But yeah, I think it's tough. I'm very excited to see which insane person out there has the solution. And we all go, oh shit, you figured it out, dude. Good for you.
Probably the president of the United States.
That's not a winning decision. That's really bad.
Did you like a slight side tangent here? But
yeah,
did you hear about the Sydney Sweeney drama with the?
I have not watched this. I had very little context. So the first thing I found out about was someone was comparing it to an old. I'm trying to think. I think it was Mariah Carey who did it. I think it was Mariah Carey did like the same ad like years back, and they were like blonde women with whatever. I'm like, I don't understand the context of this. Like there was no context about the Sydney Sweeney one. They were just comparing Sydney Sweeney to Mariah Carey. Yeah. Then Kanai was like, so this is what I'm like, oh, like I have the perfect genes, the best genes, or whatever the fuck they said. I'm like, oh, that's fucky. That's why that exists.
So earlier today, your president reacted to that.
Of course he did.
And he was like, oh, she's a Republican. Then I fully support this advertisement. That's what he said. I'm so sorry for you guys. I really am.
We're in a tough spot. For audio listeners, I was really just face buried deep in my palm trying to figure out what to say, you know?
There's not much you can say.
We're here, man. We're here.
Yeah.
God, we're almost for the first year.
No, you're not.
We're like kind of, you know, closer than we were, I guess. I don't know. We're struggling.
Yeah, that's true.
We're struggling. I don't know. True. But, man.
But anyway, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
What you think about the situation. If you have a solution that you think would work for everyone involved, or just your regular thoughts on like what our opinions were, let us know. Yeah,
please. And listen, I know this is a heavy conversation. Not usually a lot of engagement on these episodes. Usually a lot more lurk it and forget it kind of thing. We appreciate the like. Don't forget the like. Mm-hmm. That being said, if the discussion would happen to break out, let's keep it civil, people. Okay? We're not going to attack anybody. Feel free to have your discussions, but don't get fucking nuts. Okay? If I start seeing hate go down, we're gonna have some beef. All right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start banning people.
Nice.
Anyway, timestamp. Okay, everyone, back to happy times again. We're having a good time. Okay, maybe not happy times because we have a sad game to talk about, but
I was thinking because I saw your Instagram story where you were like, I'm playing this game, and then an hour later, and now I'm crying.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to ask, I'm like, do you want me to start with the sad game or want to start with the other games? So I guess I start with the sad game, though. Man, oh, man, let me tell you. So, I had gotten a key to play a new game that just came out. I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago. It's called And Roger. I wasn't quite sure what this game was, but I had a bunch of friends who were playing it. Like, you should cover it. It only takes like an hour to beat. So I'm like, cool. I got my key. Let me check it out. For anyone who's familiar with the game like Florence, which is on mobile, I think came to Switch. It's a very short, like 45-minute experience. You're going through the narrative of a young girl going through finding a relationship, the struggles they go through, how they end up in life, like apart or together, etc. Like it's a very quick, simple gameplay loop. And Roger is very reminiscent of something like Florence. You are playing as a young girl. You are going through what starts as this very vague experience. You're not entirely sure what's happening, but you wake up in your house. You go out to talk to your dad, and you don't recognize this guy. And I have to be super vague with a lot of stuff because, like, within the hour, a lot happens, a lot's revealed. And I don't want to spoil this for people who should just go play And Roger. But you are going through this narrative of what is happening to this young girl. What is she experiencing, right? And then you get the chapter 2 is the time skip to her finding love and getting married and like what she's going through there. And then chapter 3 is the finality of like what does the relationship look like and what does it change into? And there's a lot of reveals like, oh, that explains this that happened when she was younger and this, that, and the other. It is a very impactful game. I think in an episode we just talked about like talking about tough topics in something that is handled so tastefully. I think this game does a great job of, hey, we talked about some intense things. We're dealing with some intense things. It is done in a very dialogue focused way, in a very like, I wouldn't even say vague, but like we discuss the things that happened here in a way that is still impactful of, yes, this dark thing did happen, but we're not glorifying it, you know? And I think that's what makes me comfortable with a game like And Roger, where we can tackle topics like that and not make it something extraordinarily intense, right? I had such it's a case of, I don't want to say I had a good time because it's a sad game. You're going through a lot, but it does have the roller coaster of like, here's a sad moment. I'm like, oh my God, the uplifting moment. And then you have that roller coaster move again of like, oh no, it's really sad again. What are we doing? You had mentioned my Instagram story. It was so funny the way it went, because there's the like me sitting with the Red Bull like playing And Roger, and the next one is just like, I fucking hate you guys for making me play this game. I'm so pissed right now. Like, I am glad this game exists. I don't know that it's going to get the legs to be like the game of the year contender. I hope it's nominated for Indie Game of the Year. Again, I don't know that it stands a chance to win with everything else out this year and how simple it is and how short it is. But I think there's something really dope here. And again, for a game that's like an hour, I want to say it's like $5 on Steam, if even that. Like, a banger title, really cool game. Please check out And Roger.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're mentioning Game of the Year nominations. That's some pretty high praise right there.
Yeah, and I say that, right, because I think about what we've had Clair Obscur. I don't see a world where And Roger comes out and beats Clair Obscur, only because it is a video game. And I think a lot of people focus on the gameplay of it, right? Like, what is inclusive of this that makes it a game of the year, right? And in a world where this gets nominated for game of the year and somehow wins, you see all those comments that are just like, this one game of the year? That's fucking crazy. How did this beat Elden Ring? How did this beat Clair Obscur? How did this beat fucking, what else comes out this year? Ghost of Yote, whatever. And I can see the argument there of like, yeah, this is a very simple experience that I don't think needs to win game of the year. I don't think would win like the Jeff Keighley game of the year, but I think it could win the joysticks. It could win a smaller outlets game of the year. I could see this being an IGN game of the year, right? Like someone who just kind of puts their sense into, we love the story that this game told and how they told it. I think stands a chance to win a game of the year award. Will it get the GameStop physical copy that has the big sticker on the front that says Game of the Year Edition 2025, whatever, but probably not. But it's great. It is a dope experience. Again, it takes like an hour to beat. It's not very long. It's simple gameplay. Like, you're really just clicking buttons and moving sliders. It feels like something that if it is not already released on PC, if it's not already released on mobile, it should. Like, this seems like a great, again, Florence type of game where like if you play this on your phone and knock it out in an hour, just a great 99-cent app kind of vibe,
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm liking the look of it, and I'm always up for like shorter experiences.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I think I played this at like 2 a.m. or something, right? Which probably even worse time to play an emotional game. I'm like, I'm crying in the middle of the night. I don't know what to do. But yeah, it's really powerful. I think it's dope. I feel like I'm at the spot like we really don't do too many spoiler casts till we do book clubs, right? But I love to just be like, let's talk about what happened in this game. I want someone out there to be like, Danny, we're doing a spoiler cast. Come over here. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about what happened in this game. Let's talk about these shitty people, man. Let's talk about what happened. It's a lot. It's a lot, but again, super, super powerful.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but timestamp on that. Tofr, you've been playing a game. What you been playing?
I sure have. I have been fortunate enough to receive a review key for Ritual of Raven, the new game by Spellgarden Games, who made Sticky Business previously.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of a farming simulator game, but with magic. And it's a delight. I can say that up front. The cool thing about this one compared to other farming games is that you don't do the farming yourself. You have these arcane constructs that do the farming for you. Because if you do it yourself, your plants lose their magical abilities.
No.
So yeah. But basically you are a human who gets sucked into the world of this game. You have no knowledge of magic because the world you come from doesn't have magic, but this world does. you are greeted by the local witch, Sage, who has just lost her familiar Flufferstoop. That's their actual name. Flufferstoop. Through one of the same portals that you just arrived through. So she decides that she's going to teach you about how to be a witch, how to use magic, because the portals are just out of control. They keep popping up at random times. They keep dropping in people from all over the place, from all different kind of worlds, and it needs to be stopped. But then after just like a couple of days, another portal pops up, and Sage feels that Flufferstoop is on the other side of that portal, so she jumps through and leaves you to it.
Okay.
So it's up to you to become a witch and use the help of everyone in town to help stabilize the portals and maybe find a way back home. The story is pretty cool. There's a lot of life lessons to be learned. There's a lot of humor. I really like it. The visual style, as you would expect from the people who made Sticky Business, is adorable. I love how colorful this is. I love how colorful the characters are, because there's all different kinds of characters. There's an alien, for example, in this game, because an alien got sucked through one of the portals as well.
Okay.
There's a bog witch. One of the other witches is an alligator. It's none of this makes sense, but it's really cool. I really dig this game. I had high hopes for it. I was kind of disappointed that my demo version bugged out when I played it, meaning that I couldn't get into the game past a certain point.
Okay.
Now that I've gotten beyond that point, I can safely report that this game is awesome.
Hell yeah. I'm interested, right? Because you mentioned, like, so for anyone who's like, oh, the farming sim part, I can't wait to get my own produce or whatnot. So you can't pick it up because it loses magic, so you have to use the construct. So I have like 2 questions. So if you pick up your own stuff, you say it loses magic. What does that mean for the gameplay? Does it mean like I can't make proper potions because the items I match with, and I just waste it? Is it like now just something I can sell and eat, or like what does that mean?
It means that you can't pick it up because basically you
okay, so like, mechanically I
no
just
option.
cannot touch it.
There's no option because you would lose the magical abilities.
Okay, cool. So then when I'm using the constructs, right, is it how automated or how tedious can that feel? Like, do I just walk up, click a button, and it's almost like I'm physically plucking it, just the cards doing it? Like, what does that look like?
It feels quite like programming stuff.
Okay.
You have your cards like extract things, plant things, water things, but then you can buy more of these tarot cards. For example, a loop card, so that your construct keeps repeating the same action over and over.
Okay.
There's all these different kinds of tarot cards to interact with, and depending on how good you are at programming or how interested you are in programming, you can make this very efficient. Or you can make it a bit harder on yourself, but like keep things more under control, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. That is really cool. It's a game I have. I just recorded my the August releases video this morning and talked about it, and so like we were talking about Flufferstoon, like I know I just talked about it. I'm familiar, but like I know I want to jump in. I don't want to check it out, and I have redacted on redacted to check out, so I don't want to get to it now, but yeah, it looks awesome. I'm glad you're so high on it. I remember talking about the demo and getting stuck at a certain point and being able to get past that and be like, nah, we're still chilling. We're still having a great time is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. After Sticky Business, I mentioned that I would play any game Spellgarden Games would make in the future. And I still feel that same way after playing Ritual of Raven.
All right, Tofr, challenge time. That is a poor taste. This is a poor taste. Spellgarden makes no mercy, right? So,
oh my god! Wow, they would never.
They absolutely would never.
Jesus, Danny.
It's not that pause. I'm like, it's bad taste. I think it's funny. I think it's topical. We laugh at the dark humor, just not the thing itself. But no, I also enjoy Spell Garden. I think they do some great stuff. I love their visual style. It's so awesome.
Absolutely.
Just Spell Garden. This one's out Thursday. Is it out now? Out Thursday?
Out now and on the day the episode drops.
Okay, cool. So guys, you can go play Spell Garden. No, not Spell Garden. That's the dev. Ritual of Raven right now. You can go play Spell Garden. Yeah, do that. Oh yeah, let's scooch this guy, which means I still have one more game to talk about. Timestamp. This game is called The House of Tesla. It was a demo that I got a key for. I'm intrigued by this one. I'm enjoying this one. I'm curious if I'll hit a point where the staying power is just gone with this one. Okay. So House of Tesla is a first-person puzzle game where you're basically going through this mansion and solving electricity-based puzzles. I don't know if it is a mobile game. It definitely plays like one, not in a negative way, but in the way of it's a first-person game where I don't move around, I don't turn the camera. You do turn the camera, but like I look one way, I see a shelf, I click on the shelf and I zoom in, and I want to get more detail, I click on another part of the shelf and zoom in even more, and then I go back, right? So it's not like I walk up, look, and select the thing. It is very like point and click in that way. But it also has a very like escape room, escape academy kind of vibe to it, where I am opening a part of the room like, well, what does this do? What does this accomplish for me? Like, what have I found in this room? You'll open a drawer, you find an item, you take it over here, you find out I can put this item on this thing. If I turn the crank, this makes like a wireless connection. So now, oh cool, electricity can bleed from this to this, which activates the door, which activates the contraption. And it's a lot of solve what's happening in this room, move on to the next one, right? And I love that. I dig that. That is a gameplay loop for puzzle games that I will always fuck with. I think it starts with a simplicity where I'm like, these aren't too challenging. And I said, it's like, someone's gonna be like, Danny, I fucking played the demo. I couldn't figure out how to get out of the fucking starting room. The area following was a lot of back and forth, which wasn't the worst thing for me, but I can see the tedious, like, oh, I got to do this again. I start on floor 1, I go down to floor 2, I do the thing on there, I go back up to floor 1, I get the next piece, I go all the way down to floor 3, I finish that, I got to go back up to floor 1. I'm like, yeah, I can see this being annoying for people, especially if you don't solve the puzzle. Like you're trying to figure out what to do. Because again, it comes to this point of, it's not just the stairs are there. They're like, in this particular room, the stairs are like electronic. So you have to go, pull a lever, let the animation happen, the stairs open up, you go up. Then you have to pull the lever, the stairs go up again, so you go back up to the first floor. So it is kind of a slow-paced thing if you don't figure out what you're doing, and you're like, I go up, I go down, I go down, I go up. I open the stairs, I move the stairs. I'm like, what the fuck do I need to do? So I'm afraid that would be a deterrent as people are getting in and trying the game. But I like the visuals of it. I think it's very like, not hyper realistic, but it is stylish. There's a very steampunky, Teslagrad kind of vibe to it, which I'm a sucker for steampunk, so fuck me up with it anytime. But also there's another game. It's also mobile. It's called Boxes. I think there's 2 or 3 of the games that are like solving puzzles on a like puzzle box where you spin the box around, you open this door, which opens this latch. And like, I love those games. Those games are awesome. Those are fun to make my brain tick thing. And this kind of scratches that same itch that I think if you like games like Boxes, if you just want to do puzzle solving with a little bit of first person, again, it's also touch and move and point and click, that it's so much not playing a first person game as much as the game is in first person, if that makes sense. But it's really cool. I'm having a good time with it. I want to see how long it is, because I didn't, from what I know, finish the demo. I got a couple hours in before I stopped. So I don't know how full this demo is. But it is definitely an enjoyable time for puzzle game enthusiasts. So would recommend.
It looks cool. It kind of reminds me of, what was that called? House of Da Vinci or something?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I didn't play that one, but I'm familiar. But like, even like, this is the area I ended in, right? Which is an office space that had like 20 puzzles in it. And like, there's room off to the side, which you activate this thing, you do this thing. And like, I'm missing a shot glass. Where do I get the shot glass? I'm not really sure. So I'm going to do a different puzzle. I do the puzzle. I get this pipe. Well, this gave me a key. I don't know what the key's for. Oh wait, there's a keyhole over there. There's a shot glass in here. Let's go. But then the shot glass, I need another shot glass, right? So, it is a lot of the exploring and finding out what you need to do. I'm not so much at the blueprints part of things where I have to get a notebook and write down, well, this did this and this did that. I got to make sure I have every step that I took. But it is a lot of the multiple things could activate the other thing, and you kind of have to figure out what order you're going to take on these tasks in. But again, I enjoy that. I love that. I think for something that's I could put on a podcast or a TV show and just go ham on the puzzles. I think it's really fun. So yeah, I had an enjoyable time with the demo here so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear that you have like a couple of hours of gameplay in just a demo.
Yeah, absolutely. And that could also be like a pacing thing with how good you are at the puzzles, or the pacing of the game itself physically and how fast things move or don't move. So take that feedback how you will. It was not a dilemma for me. I enjoyed that I got so much out of it and still hadn't finished it. I could very much be if I click the button, it's going to be like, thanks for playing, and just not know that's where I stopped. But
yeah,
I have to imagine this spot here was the end of the demo. I just didn't complete it.
All right.
Yeah. So the House of Tesla. I don't know if there's a date or anything for this one. Let me double check. The House of Tesla, Steam. This demo. Wait, that's really funny. I think. Yeah, this is from the people who made the House of Da Vinci. That's
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I went to look it up and like House of Da Vinci. I'm like, oh, it's same devs. That makes sense. That's why it looks so much like House of Da Vinci. Oh, that's cool then. So their brand is the House of blank. So the House of Da Vinci, House of Tesla's their next one. Okay. I do like that. Oh wait, there's multiple House of Da Vinci's. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
1 through 4? Oh shit. And then just corn. Anyway, we're talking about this one comes out in September. So you can check out the demo now on Steam. I'm also second guessing that is there an embargo on this demo? I don't really know. I'm pulling it up. Any thoughts on the Da Vinci games or House of Tesla?
It looks cool. It's not my kind of game because I tend to struggle with puzzles like that. But I think for people who do enjoy this kind of game, it looks like it will be another hit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be fun. Hope you guys enjoy my singing.
It's beautiful, Danny.
Thank you. See, normally pressing this, they put the big like red font of where the thing is.
Oh no.
Okay, July 30th. Yep, we're good. We're good. I double check. I'm like, no, it's not to the 30th of July. We're good. Yeah. So yeah, no embargo. I was about to be like, hey guys, you probably just saw this weird cut. I couldn't talk about that game yet. No, we're good. We're fine. We're golden. It concerned me when I'm like, it only comes out in September. What if I can't talk about it yet? No. We're chill.
Nice.
And timestamp. So with that, we're on to the indies releasing this week. Tofr, would you like to do these or do you want me to do them?
I can do them. But first, let me take a big breath in. Because this is for the week of August 7th to August 13th. And August 7th is one hell of a day. So
yeah, it is.
Static Dread 15 Nights at the Old Lighthouse releases on PC. As does Artist Impact. As does Make Room. As does Paper Animal Adventure, which comes out in early access. Ritual of Raven releases on the same day for Switch and PC. Tiny Bookshop comes to PC, as does 1000 Deaths. Out and About releases on PC in early access. The Royal Writ releases on PC, as does Wildwood Down, and as does Whimside. That was just August 7th.
Yeah.
On August 8th, we're getting Gemporium Acute Mining Sim for PC. On August 11th, Whisper Mountain Outbreak releases on PC in early access. And Passant, a chess roguelike, releases on PC. On August 12th, we get Rara Boom on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Super Farming Boy releases on PC in early access. Camille and Laura releases on PC, and Dinotopia releases on PC in early access. And on August 13th, we have Blueprint Bob releasing on PC.
Look at all those games to play.
Yep.
People out there, there's nothing to play. You're full of shit. You ain't looking. You ain't looking.
Just August 7th has like,
yeah.
Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games that I want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at August 7th, right? Like Static Dread. I remember you talking about that one. It looked cool. Artist Impact. Make Room was actually one I didn't realize was on here. It is this very... I make the comparison on packing because it's the isometric whatever, but it's the cute, really smooth 3D kind of like put the stuff around the room vibe. I'm like, oh, this might be it. This might be it. Ritual of Raven, Tiny Bookshop. I think, by the time this episode comes out, I have a key for Thousand Deaths, and I haven't started it yet. But that seems like one I'm excited to check out. And then Whimside is probably my most anticipated from the 7th. I've been really getting into idle games now, and it's an idle Pokemon game that sits on my computer and I catch Pokemon. So, yeah, I want to check that one out. I'm hoping to get a key for that one soon. Fingers crossed. Yeah. And then August 11th has Whisper Mountain Outbreak. That one was really fun. I got to sit down with Toge at PAX East and play that one. Definitely built for multiplayer. I played single player and got fucked up. It was doing pretty bad.
Okay.
But like very excited for that one. If I recall, this one is doing like a friend pass situation. So if one of you owns it, the rest you can download the demo version and invite your friends. So like you don't all have to buy the game. So if you want to go the route of, I think everyone should buy the game, just support the devs regardless. But I think if you go for the, everyone buys a copy, it's like, oh, the game, I assume $20. I don't know for sure. The game's $20. We all go $5 in, 4-player game. You know, you just got to pick who owns it. But yeah, I think that's the schmoove.
Nice.
And then, oh God, Tofr, this list. Super Farming Boy was really fun when I played that demo. And then Camille and Laura also, I got a key for that one. That is, okay, bet. We talked about that one. I talked about that one last year sometime. It's the very cute, like, visual novel, point and click. I don't know what direction to define this genre. But it's like a child's sketch of like on crayons, right? Of like the story of the mom and the daughter and what they're going through. It's a really cute game. I like the demo, so I'm excited to play the full one. So many games.
So many games. .co.uk.
Yeah, I was gonna say plug. Oh, bet. Yeah, guys, let us know which games you're looking forward to this week. Whew. Buckle in. So much to play. With that brings us to our indie spotlight, where we talk about indie games that should use more time in the sun or upcoming games that you should keep on your radar. Tofr, it is your turn to pick. So what you got for us?
This week I picked Arcade Spirits, which is a romantic visual novel, but not in the like, oh senpai, notice me kind of way.
Yeah.
It's set in an alternative 1983. Where video games, where the video game crash never occurred, and then it moves forward to like the 2000s, and arcades are still as popular as they were back in the 80s. So everyone has their home consoles, but still arcades are still this thing where people come together and play, and you start working there, and you can date people if you want. It's mostly about the vibes, this game. Like, it's such a love letter to everything that is video games. And I love it. Like, it's made by Fiction Factory Games. They've made a couple of visual novels now. There's a direct sequel to Arcade Spirits, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, where they have arcade cabinet esports events, which is just really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Fiction Factory, they have a great sense of humor. I love the visuals of the game as well. Like visual novels are a bit hit or miss with their with like the actual character models. I like this one a lot. There's a lot of gaming history that goes into this game. For example, have you ever heard of Polybius? Like the arcade. That's an arcade cabinet, like for a game that people claim existed, but no one can find proof of. That existed, and people claim that this game was made by the government to control people. Yeah.
Okay.
And Polybius is a part of this story.
No shit.
Really cool.
That's dope. I love that. This is so. Earlier, we were like, oh, cool, you picked Arcade Spirits. In my head, I heard Arcade Paradise. So I was like, oh, yeah, the one where you run a laundromat and arcade next door. So when I pulled up the trailer, I'm like, oh, the dating sim one. Never mind. I had a very different vision this entire episode. Oh, yeah. No, I think this is one I'm pretty sure I own. I think it's in my library. I have to keep replaying the trailer because Steam changed their video player all of a sudden. And I used to be able to right click and hit loop, and I can't do that right now. It's like, fuck, I gotta fucking keep it in play. Way to ruin my life, Steam. First you fucking take down my NSFW games. Now you made it I can't just loop a video. What the fuck? But yeah, no, this looks great. I've loved the visual style. I'm a sucker for dating sims now, especially ones that hit closer to my niche, you know, like Hot Monsters or other game about dating hot monsters. But arcades are cool too, so I'll take it.
Or Safe Ladies.
Or save ladies. They play more date everything. Yeah, you guys can check out Arcade Spirits. Do we know, is that on just Steam? Is that on multiple platforms?
Let me check real quick. I think it's just Steam and Itch.
No.
Although I seem to remember playing it on Switch.
Yeah, I'm seeing
on Switch as well.
Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Arcade Spirits New Challengers also includes PS5 and Xbox Series X. Cool. So the first one is just on last gen. The second one is on, I guess, last gen and new, now current gen. New gen's a weird. We always got to find the wall of when we start calling it old and new gen, but you get the point. Bet. So timestamp. And with that, my friends and family, that is how we're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for this episode of Playlog Podcast. If you enjoyed, once again, do us a favor, hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on audio platforms, leave that 5-star review. It takes a second. You don't have to do it for every episode. It just leaves a review for the podcast as a whole. So if you got at least an episode out of this and you plan to keep listening, hey, 5-star review would be really helpful. Would appreciate. And of course, if you're on any of those platforms, they should have comment sections. Let us know what you think about whether it's the topic of the show, the games coming out, the games we've been playing, et cetera, et cetera. Let me know what you think about all that. Tofr, if the little squinkle dinkles wanted to find you on the internet, where would they go?
They can find me through my link tree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word. And also be sure to check out SoManyGames.co.uk, where I, among a couple of really entertaining colleagues, write reviews. I will have my Ritual of Raven review up by the time this episode drops, and the Tiny Bookshop review as well.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. And then, of course, guys, you can find me at CGDannyB all over the internet, Blue Sky, Instagram. We got thirst traps on Instagram. People have been calling me out for it, but they like them. If you like thirst traps and indies,
you're no longer the indie game guy.
I'm not. Emily from No Small Game, she said, I quit indies and I just do thirst traps. But
yep. She's not
Don't
wrong.
worry, I'll post more indie stuff. I'm sorry. I'm hot, dude. I found out. Shucks. But of course, yes, then TikTok, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Twitch. You can find us playing indie games. If you're around tonight, the plan should be date everything unless Moonlighter Shadow drops. and God, Tofr, what if I got a press email? What if I find out it is Moonlighter? Then I can't tell chat. And I'm like, hey, guys, guess what? We're changing. We don't know. We don't know. Anyway, plan is to play Date Everything tonight, and then Tales of the Valiant after. So it's going to be a busy day for content. So stick around if you want your heaping helping of Danny. I know what I wanted to say. What the fuck? The heaping hoach. I don't know what that. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.